Springtime can mean quite a bit of things to do, and I've got just a small list, maybe 5, maybe 6 items of what a beekeeper should be doing here in the spring. So one of the first things that you should be doing as a beekeeper, whether you're going to be a new beekeeper or you are a seasoned beekeeper, would be to make sure that you have ordered, are ordering, or have lined up what you're going to be doing for your actual bees this year. Meaning, what are you actually going to get? Are you going to get packages? Are you going to get nukes? Now that it is mid-February here, the temperatures are still cold as could be, and we woke up today around 15 degrees, which I know is not extremely cold, but frost everywhere. And it's hard to think about what summer's going to bring, but you want to make sure that you've got your bees already ordered. We are actually going to be doing a couple new packages this year of bees, and we're going with some Russian hybrids this year for some of our new packages, and we might still get some more either Italians or even Saskatraz as well. But if you haven't already ordered your packages, you might want to get onto that. The number 2 thing you should actually be doing would be to assess your bee yard. So we actually here on our Hidden Acre, we do our bees in 2 spots this year, and we're probably going to do them in a 3rd as well. But this is one of our areas here right against the fence line. We've had up to 5 hives here throughout the summer, and now we are down to really the 2. The one here on the end did not make it. So we wanted to assess the bee yard and kind of get things reset up. As you can actually see, this one right here is actually kind of tilted a little too far forward. It's not, was not set that way. I literally just kind of reset that up a couple months ago after I found out that the hive had not made it. So you want to get your bee yard ready, making your hive stands, putting your hive stands in the spots you think they're going to do. One recommendation that we have that we love to do is your entrances are going to want to be south facing, as well as that way allows them to get the most sunlight, but it shields them from winds and rains for the most part. Really, they say kind of like a southeast angle, and that way it kind of even helps a little bit more from having your entrances not getting in the weather. Another tip on setting up your bee yard is actually having your hive stands there, but underneath what you can do is actually put some DE or some diatomaceous earth around your hives and even under your hives, especially at this time of the year. What that's going to do is it's going to help go down and actually maybe kill any larvae or anything that's kind of bad right underneath it. It will not affect the bees, especially at this time of the year, but it's small something you can do. One of the things we're going to do here on our Hidden Acre is take this big pile and create a bee house here. This little spot here behind us was an area that we had sunflowers growing. We actually had some pumpkins kind of happen by accident, maybe some tomatoes as well. But we're going to take this big pile. We got this shed last year in the fall, and we're going to set that up, and that's actually going to become our bee house. So where we're going to store our boxes and our frames and everything, so that we can kind of get the rest out of our the barn shed that we're currently using, and it has it. It's just kind of becoming just a pain for it to be there. So we pick up this barn. We're going to put this little thing up. I shouldn't call it a barn. It is a shed. But that's another little item that we're going to do this year is. And that leads me to, you want to make sure your boxes are taken care of. So that's kind of one of my big tips is after you've gotten your packages of bees, you want to make sure you want to get your hives actually ready. That includes the boxes, the frames. You want to go through and fix any frames that you've got maybe broken. You want to get new inserts going. It is February, so it is not the time to start making anything for like honeycomb ones, where it uses the thin paper yet. It's too cold for that. Actually, I don't even think places ship that for you, but you want to make sure it's a good time to bring your boxes inside, paint them, fix them, do whatever's needed for your boxes. Okay, if you're a returning beekeeper, one of the worst parts that you have to do is you need to assess your dead outs. As well as this kind of ties into the last one of getting your boxes ready, but you want to assess your dead outs and kind of figure out what you're going to do with those hives. So for example, I've got these two 8-framers here. They've already been kind of cleaned up and they're getting ready for spring packages, but we did lose them both, which happens, and so now we just are figuring out we're going to leave them. We actually put them back together here on the stand, but getting them ready for spring, so that honestly, if I were to get a package today, I could put it right in there. Well, not today, it's too cold, but we could take that package, put it in there. The way we like to set up ours is for having, we will be removing those top boxes from it, just leaving a single brood chamber. But you want to get your dead outs assessed, get your boxes ready and set for the next round. One thing that might apply to you, does not actually apply to me currently, is you want to start getting, when the days are warmer, you're actually going to be able to go in and treat for Varroa, if you've had Varroa going on. Honestly, I am not kidding. We had 11 hives last year. We only had one that had Varroa with it, and that one did perish this year. It did not make it through, which, hey, that's okay. I am choosing to do a chemical-free, treatment-free system. It worked out very well for our hives, minus the one, but now is a good time once the weather starts getting a little bit going, because your queen is going to probably start laying here within the next 2 to 3 weeks if they're not already laying. Of course, we're in northern Ohio, right up by Lake Erie, so you know it is a little colder here still, where there are other parts of the country that are already starting to get that spring warm-up. Speaking of spring warm-up, one of the things I like to talk about is kind of setting a plan for what you want to plant this year for your bees, because now's a great time to kind of do that planning and that everything that you want to do this year. And so get a book, get a magazine, pop online, and I recommend either looking into a seedling sets or even just, actual plants, or now's a good time to start some seeds for plants that you want to get in the ground for your bees. It's really too late to get, well, I shouldn't say that. It's actually a good time still. Soon the stores are going to start getting in like tulips and hyacinths and things like that, which are always the first things that bees can get out and eat. So, but still, get your bees plants ready. Make a plan of what you're going to plant, because part of being a beekeeper is keeping the bees and keeping them happy, as well as our goal is so that we kind of keep them out on our area as close as we can here. There's a couple things of reasons why we want to do that, but plant something good this year. I think this one kind of goes without saying, but one of the other things that you want to do to get ready for your bees this year is you want to maybe you're going to get a new suit, maybe you need new gloves. So for example, I know myself this year, I need to get a new set of gloves. So I'm going to go out, I'm going to probably just order them online this year. Maybe I'll pick them up at a store when I go out here down pretty soon. But you want to make sure all of your equipment's good, and you've got that. Maybe it's time for that new smoker that you've been thinking about. But, you need the basics, you need everything, and then I always recommend having extras, extra hoods, extra, of course, hive tools. But really, that's what you've got to kind of start thinking about. And I think really the last kind of one that I want to talk about, the things that you should be doing this time of the year, is if you haven't taken any classes, take a class. I tell you, they're beneficial. Maybe it's with your local county beekeepers association, maybe your Metro Parks is putting on a class, or you know what? Contact a beekeeper, meet up with them, have some coffee, talk about things. You can never stop learning. We personally took our intro to beekeeping class, and this year I wanted to teach a beekeeping class, but I didn't. Between all of the things kind of going on here, I unfortunately didn't make that a priority for myself to do a teaching one. But hopefully next year I'll do that and kind of get some more people into catch the buzz, as they say. But yeah, so go out, find that, get a new book. I've read a lot of books on beekeeping, but of course, with any book, it's always, what are you putting into practice? And so you want to get out and you just want to practice what you're doing. So that's kind of it. Those are my ideas on what you should be doing at this time of the year for your beekeeping. So get out there, have some fun. Thank you. God bless. Don't forget to like, subscribe. If you help that, it definitely gets us so more people can go out there and we can also follow our dreams. So thank you. God bless. Have a great day.